Understanding CDOT's 138 access permit process.
The purpose of this video is to help internal CDOT staff and local agency staff determine when an access permit may be needed.
With over 500,000 access points on Colorado's highways, CDOT works diligently to manage access to keep people safe and traffic moving smoothly. By law, CDOT is responsible for regulating any vehicle access to and from a state highway. This state law led to the creation of the State Highway Access Code, a set of standards that CDOT applies to manage access.
What we look at is where the location of the access should be. Is there other ways to get to the access? Can we provide you access other than the highway?
Access points are hotspots for crashes, which CDOT wants to help prevent.
Many of those fatalities and serious injuries occur at intersections or at access points. And so in order to reduce the amount of fatalities and serious injuries on Colorado's roadways, good access management practices can help by reducing those conflicts.
If CDOT or a local agency needs to change an access, they issue what is called a 138 permit to property owners to notify them of the change.
The purpose of this notification is truly just to inform the landowner of the changes or modifications that may be occurring to the access and to document the access.
The 138 permit is CDOT's formal process of notifying property owners of necessary access changes. When a CDOT project will relocate, reconstruct, close, or improve an access, a 138 permit needs to be issued. While CDOT's access unit issues the permit, the request typically does not originate from the access unit.
For the 138 process, there's always confusion because the project managers for CDOT projects aren't always filling out 138s.
The majority of 138 permit requests originate from a CDOT or local agency project. The process typically involves a CDOT roadway designer or engineer, a town or county engineer, or a design consultant. For example, improvements like a new city street that connects to a state highway would require a 138 permit.
We know that growth in Douglas County is inevitable and it's not stopping, and we need to be able to manage access, locations, and development as it comes along.
Other examples include the installation of new sidewalks, traffic signals, and roundabouts. Basically, any project that requires a change of access will trigger the need for a 138 permit. A few exceptions include overlays and other maintenance activities that do not significantly change access. You will need to pay close attention if you are requesting an access that involves a median. For example, a pork chop median compared to a center median will not necessarily need a permit, but a notification to the property owner.
If you have questions, ask the access permit unit.
The 138 permit needs to include information documenting the access use and location, the traffic volumes if possible, and any access movement restrictions, such as a right-in, right-out. The permit needs to make clear what is being done with clearly labeled access design plans. Remember, most property owners are not roadway designers. Each CDOT region varies slightly. Contact and coordinate with your regional access manager for templates on the required information, which might include items like parcel numbers, mailing address, milepost, and what is being changed. While a key map is not required, it is helpful to show the landowners all of the proposed access points in the project limits. And finally, a cover letter that includes the anticipated dates of construction, details about the project, contact information if they have questions, and information on the appeal process.
Specifically, a 138 permit gives the property owner appeal rights, meaning if they do not agree with the proposed change, then they can appeal that change. And for example, if their access is being closed, they may be able to argue a reason why.
The landowner has up to 60 days to make an appeal in writing if they choose to do so.
With a 138, the biggest hiccup you can have is that appeal, which can hold up a project.
Appeals are complicated and can take time to resolve. At a minimum, expect 6 months or longer, possibly even years. If an appeal cannot be resolved with CDOT, it escalates to the court system.
understanding that communication with the property owner, a lot of outreach is huge. Having that outreach way ahead of time, way in advance of the project going to add even, will make the whole process run smoother.
If there are serious access changes, involve the access unit early, ideally during project scoping during the field inspection review, also known as the FIR. The access unit teams are a resource to guide you through the process of delivering the permit notification to the landowner. And remember, overlays and maintenance projects do not require permits unless they significantly change the access.
It's a real balance between good access and too much access.
Let's walk through the steps related to issuing a 138 permit. Step 1. Identify if access needs to be modified, relocated, or closed, which normally takes place during the field inspection review. Step 2. Begin development of the access modification plans through internal CDOT staff, local agency partners, or a paid consultant hired by CDOT. Step 3. Identify and notify property owners of the proposed access modification. Step 4. Send out the notification. And Step 5. Once the property owner receives the notice, the up to 60-day appeal process begins.
We want to provide good access to the landowner, but we want to provide a safe roadway.
Key takeaways. Issuing a 138 permit is a necessary process for public construction projects that impact access. Even if the access unit does not appear to be involved, you still need to notify the regional access manager when an access is being modified, either horizontally or vertically. Understand this is a sensitive process that requires patience. The time invested on the front end coordinating with property owners will save you on the back end, potentially avoiding any appeals. And finally, it is never easy to close or relocate an access. That's why the CDOT access unit teams are here to help. For more resources on access permits and to view more tutorial videos, visit codot.gov/business/permits/access permits.